it's now it's just the way people. It's just the easiest way to listen to music now. So it feels like it's the main way of people listening to music. So now, because of like Spotify and now that SoundCloud's kind of got a new kind of deal with all the labels and stuff, it's definitely changed very quickly, and it feels like already we are in the streaming era, and it feels like streaming is just as important as record sales and as important as radio play. It's kind of the main source of it's going to be the main source of like income when it comes to music now as well. I mean, obviously it's free in some ways, but obviously you have to pay as well if you do monthly subscriptions, like with iTunes Music and stuff. So
there's good and bad. For me, music isn't free because it's not free for me to make. So, and I make a living at this, and yeah, okay, I get paid to tour, I get paid to do shows, but it's like I spend money. See, most of the younger kids, again, that don't have really much of a problem with it, it's because they bought a laptop and Fruity Loops and a crappy mic, and it doesn't really cost them much to make their records. They make 400 songs like in a week. These are a lot of artists like that now, and I'm not saying that's good or bad here. All I'm saying is, like, when you make 400 songs in a week for free, it doesn't matter. You don't care about streaming your music. But when I spend $100,000 to make, a record, I expect some return out of it.
I don't give a fuck if people stream music. I don't care. I'm not one of those musicians who thinks, hey, I'm not going to earn £1 million. I wasn't going to earn £1 million anyway. I like to change with life. If life is going to be hard, I'll be harder. If life's going to be tricky, I'll be trickier. I sort of grew up on the streets. I mean, when the Slits walked around the streets, we were stabbed, we were attacked, we were spat at. We lived a hard life, and we had the consequences of being different. It was a very violent time. I don't want to go back to that time, but if now music is free and young people are downloading it for free, then I'll adapt. I'll do something else, or I'll be poor.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with it. But I don't have any problem with it because historically our band has not made much money from record sales. It's always been about either gigs or our songs being used in movies or TV stuff. So it's not like it has ever been about us selling 1 million albums and now we're not going to sell 1 million albums. We've never had that problem. Actually, it's not a problem. We've never had that luxury. So I'm all for as many people hearing our music as possible.
There's things that are just also generational differences. I'm fortunate, I get money no matter what. I could sit at home and do nothing, jump around and What It's Like and Put Your Lights On. Those 3 songs alone get played a lot around the world, and then alone the rest of them get played, so it all adds up. I do okay, without even making new music. So, but even when I put out a new record, I'm not about, as far as like the streaming services, they got a long way to go before I'm down with it, because of the way their payments and all this, and it's nah. I look at it like this. I stream plenty of music, all right? I even have done plenty of like, what is that? I don't know what it is. I'm gonna go download it and see if I like it. But if I like an artist and I like their music, I make sure I go and buy their music, because I want them to stick around, because there's not too much I like.
For me personally, I'd like to own the physical like vinyl and stuff. So I think that will never go. I don't think it's going to take over completely, but I definitely think that it's going to be the main kind of source of income for all record labels from now on when it comes to selling music.
I think music streaming is amazing. I mean, I just think the wealth of music that, like, when kids growing up these days can get their hands on is huge. And I think as well for artists, it's a huge opportunity because, like, so many people are on Spotify, so many people are on SoundCloud, and it's just such a, like, it kind of, in a way, like, democratizes music, because, like, you can be anyone and you can just put your music up and you kind of have a equal platform. But on the other hand, I think the flip side is, because anyone can do it, there is just so much music now. I mean, it's like there's such a huge saturation. So I think it can be quite daunting to, like, sometimes I think of all the things I've missed that I have to catch up on, and all these great albums that people have told me about, and this amazing new single by so-and-so, or this new artist, and it's just so much. There's just so much, because it's all just a click away. So I guess that's quite scary, but on the whole I think it's really good, and I think it's a really good revenue stream for artists as well. You know, like PRS collects for everyone whose stuff is streamed, and I think that's a really, like, that's going to just grow and grow and grow, because more people are going to sign up to be on Spotify or online, and that will just be something that artists have through their whole lives growing. So yeah, I think it's on the whole pretty good.
We can get into a whole philosophical argument about bandwidth and why people are using it. You know what I mean? There's only 3 major reasons that people use the internet as far as every day: music, movies, and porn. All right? Those are the driving forces of about 80% of your internet traffic. And I just think at some point they'll come up with a way to pay you for the amount of bandwidth that people, like when your music is playing, they'll figure out a way to monetize that. I don't have the answer. If I did, I'd be a multi-billionaire, trust me. But the sale of songs and albums is changed, and I see benefits in it, but I see a lot of flaws. That was a long way around to one sentence. That last sentence could have been the whole answer.